monuments look a little suspicious.
The threads of your fate lie.
Yikes! A huge launch!
Sure.
This is long overdue.
Solidify! Quake! Stabilize! I will have order!
Access denied.
Glad that's over. As monsters go, that one was pretty tough. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the good thing is that it's over now. We should probably get going. Huh? Tepe?
Wow. I just got back from delivering some supplies to the front line. I figured I'd stop by and clear any threats in this area on the way back.
Are you alright there?
I'm fine. It's nothing. I must have caught a cold. On my way past, I heard that someone had just arrived on the island to investigate. If there'd been some real danger, I might have had the chance to be the hero. Shame it was...
Tepe, don't you...
It could be that the Tatarigami is more palpable here, I guess. We're not that far away from Orobashi's remains.
Orobashi?
A god. Look, there's the corpse.
Ah! It's a gigantic snake skeleton! Oh, it looks terrifying!
Orobashi was the one who brought our ancestors from Enkanomiya up to the surface. That's the origin of the Watatsumi Island you know today. Our ancestors regarded it as a guardian deity. But during the Archon War, Orobashi invaded Yashiori Island. The Raiden Shogun came out in person and slew Orobashi with the Muso no Hitotachi. That same slash also formed what later became known as Musojin Gorge.
The Raiden Shogun created Musojin Gorge in one slash? Wow, that's pretty incredible!
Yes, but the Archon War was brutal. And Yashiori Island was completely destroyed during that battle. They say the Shogun lost something very dear to her along the way, too. Since Orobashi's death, there has always been some animosity between Watatsumi Island and the Shogunate, but our different beliefs have nothing to do with why the resistance was formed. We only rose when Orobashi attacked civilization. The Shogun stood up and put a stop to it. But now that the Shogun is stripping people of their ambitions with the Vision Hunt Decree, alright, I'm heading back. I was just dealing with some of the Shogun's elite samurai, so I think I'm gonna take a quick... You should report back to Sangonomiya as soon as possible. Hey.
Tepe's sure made some big progress if he's already dealing... Let's report back to Coco... Look, Goro's here too. What happened?
Approximately how many people are exhibiting these symptoms?
I haven't had the chance to do a full count yet.
Kokomi, Goro, what's going on?
Recently, some of our soldiers started showing symptoms of accelerated aging. I called them in for questioning and found out they'd privately acquired some secret weapons from our sponsor. Most of them are highly ambitious types, vehemently opposed to the Vision Hunt decree. They've been using these new weapons secretly since getting a hold of them.
So that's why the war has been going unusually well. But risky secret weapons are not the answer. We must put a stop to it immediately. Goro, have you managed to acquire one of these weapons?
Well, most of the officers refuse to hand them over. Still, I did manage to get one.
Do you know something about this?
So that means our secret sponsor is the Fatui?
But why would the Fatui do this? Forget that. There's no time. Right now, we need to inform the whole army to cease using the— All soldiers who have shown symptoms are to be taken for treatment.
Wait a second. Speaking of soldiers with— No! Let's go check on him.
Oh, just a moment. Let me get up. Oh, right. Yeah. I have been fighting the Shogun's army at sea, taking on Shogunate samurai all by myself, rescuing my comrades from an ambush. If only I were stronger still. The stronger I am, the more I can do for the resistance. It wasn't. They gave it to me and said that as long as I have the will to become stronger, it's just like a vision, isn't it? Of course, it's illusion. So, what's the difference between a delusion and a vision? Gosh. Well, I suppose it's not too surprising that I've been getting more and more tired. At first, I'd find I was a little more beat than usual after a battle. This is a real shame. Guess I didn't receive the favor of the gods after all. Hey, when our uniforms are ready, grab mine for me. What's that look for? Don't worry, partner. As soon as I've rested.
Pepe! Hey! Where are you going? Hey!
How's Tepe's condition? I have put out the order to cease all delusions. The vast majority are showing some loss of vitality, but nothing serious. Sadly, a few have picked—
Your Excellency, I'm planning to establish a dedicated field hospital to The soldiers are up in arms about the ban, though. They know full well what a delusion is, but they still intend to keep using them.
Okay, I'll leave you to deal with the situation. This whole fiasco is certain to be a blow to morale. If the Shogun's army attack, what are your thoughts? No, it's too dangerous. The Sakoku decree is still in force, so their delusions must be produced within Inazuma's board to organize an operation of this scale. If we want to stop them, we have to destroy the factory where the delusions— It's dangerous to go alone.
Your Excellency, given the urgency of the situation, we were hardly discreet. If we spend any longer amassing our forces, they will get wind of our plans and make their—
Very true. I gave this some thought while you were confiscating the delusions. The side of the factory must be big and secluded, but close enough. Not many places meet these criteria. And if we take the locations where our soldiers receive their— I'm not going to stop you. We have lost too many courageous fighters already. I don't want to lose you too.
Huh? You mean to the Delusion Factory? Really? You aren't gonna think it over first? Fine.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Gather!
So, is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal marrow. Now where have we seen that before? Wait a second. Are they getting this from Rito? So the Conjure Commission are...
Over here!
Solidify!
Let's light it up! Blink!
Intruder spotted! Do not let them impede the work of the Harbingers. You'll never get out of here alive! Go on, my work. We've only just begun. Looks like I went too far.
Let's light it up!
Solidify! This is bad.
Get out of here!
Born of ice and frost.
Now this idiot must have a death wish. Don't be intimidated. Lord Harbinger will be here soon.
Her Majesty's gift! Mirror images disperse like water. Out of my sight!
Solidify!
Her Majesty's power flows through me! Winter, shall we venture?
You actually managed to find this place. Congratulations. Ha! Barely 2 words in, and you already look like you want me dead. Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What? You're getting all worked up over nothing. You've changed. You're getting weak.
How can you say this is...
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. They were always going to die. With or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Good news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for...
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind the...
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little, eternity stretches things out over a long time. But each moment within it becomes all the more... Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it.
Hey, calm down! No!
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger.
What's happening? Get up!
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's positive. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Me Nico? Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something.
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other Shrine Maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways. This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please. Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
Right! Paimon was so focused on the traveler.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant? Would you believe me? Well, maybe you should be worrying less. Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought. I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they? You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his I must say, I would relish the opportunity to— Well, anyway, that's Ungonomiya Kokomi. She really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person, but alas.
A hindrance? Should you—
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me. You've met her, right? I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes? Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being. Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the Traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
So, that place that she carved open with her sword...
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity. This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity. You mean Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhongli was facing, though.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum. The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her, and ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The truth is, we are on this— You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your abolish the vision not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by,
You're a fast learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits. Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear there tells us one crucial thing, that you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there. Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this.
Wait, you're leaving?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you. Come along.
We're gonna do it here? And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Gather! Stabilize! Solidify! nothing to fear. Rise! Stabilize!
Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Gather!
Adventure time! Get out of here! Out of the way! Why do they never miss? Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
I'm the frying pan into the fire. Eat this!
Yeah!
Stabilize!
Perhaps it's because.
What? Like Dvalin is to Barbados?
It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form. In your dreams. More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of youth. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least. Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of youth, then my duty as her eternal familiar is to drag her back out of her own.
Aw, Miko.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for anti-
There's a part 2?
Huh?
Careless.
You did quite admirably. I could see.
So, do you think...
How do I put this?
Wait, what?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't... Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances? You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Sword...
I don't mean to belittle. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful. Oh, goodness, is that the time? I have another guest to receive today.
All of this setting your entertainment...
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the... Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do? You must understand the situation you are facing. The Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on... Yes, this is the strongest piece of evidence we have now. We also know that every aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryo Commission.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no negotiation.
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
So, what?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryo Commission.
Rebellion?
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun. I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army. She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Don't move a muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest. Don't even think about trying anything. Surrender now.
Affirmative.
It seems that you're forgetting. The use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun,
Ugh. Guji-ai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside.
As you wish.
Guji-ai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
You're the same as ever, Kujo-sara.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior...
Even though she will one day seize your vision too?
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course.
Oh, it's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the dark?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct.
The Vision Hunt Decree is a trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission.
You're saying the Kujo clan... betrayed?
Yes.
Guji-ai, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan. I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun, how could he ever even dream of acting
3 days. Come back here in 3 days and I will show you the evidence. As a Guji, there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look. And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for— He will have to come with me.
Wonderful. Then I'll see you in 3 days.
That was so scary! Hana wasn't, but... Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryo Commission's...
Why are you always asking so many questions? Of course not. I just had to say something because... As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every...
Okay, but...
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, come with me. We must awaken the professional.
she...
She is a member of the Shiumatsuban, a genuine, bona fide ninja.
Oh, wow! A ninja?
It belongs to the Yashiro Commission, a secret unit under Kamisato Ayato. Now, Kamisato Ayato and the Yashiro Commission are neutral parties, so I have no right to give orders to the Shiumatsuban. However, convincing their most chronically lazy member to help us is well within my ability. Here's what I need you to do. Go into town and find evidence of the Tenryo Commission's betrayal. It would not be appropriate for me to be seen there myself.
You make it sound so simple, but...
Oh, I thought you would have figured it out. For a complete outsider, probing the inner workings of the Tenryo Commission is nigh on impossible. But since the three commissions work together to serve the Shogun, they have a close relationship. Someone from one of the other commissions might have an easier job of figuring out what they're up to. Now your fault. The Shogun's army haven't given up on their search for you yet. But with the help of this Shiumatsuban ninja, I'm sure. Don't forget, we're on a tight schedule.
Liyue people must have higher standards.
Tasty chop suey!
Solidified! Stabilize!
Let's light it up! Everybody stand back!
Let's investigate this further. This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. Gather! Burst forth!
Stabilize!
Come into being!
Order guide you! Gather!
Burst forth! Live! Gotcha. Take me back.
Solidify!
Break!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
Get breathe! No use hiding back there! Raging tide! Witness my great undertaking!
I'm feeling a little...
Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Or not. Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say, anyway. Knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true for me. Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Let's go find some treasure. Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Or not. No No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go! Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Adventure time!
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. How unbecoming. Progress. Guess I take you more seriously.
Stabilize!
Coming to be! Feel this ancient power!
No use hiding back there!
Burst forth!
Got you! All you do is run!
Coming to be!
Gather! Stabilize!
Coming to be!
Gather!
Witness my great undertaking!
This is order!
Everybody stand back! Let's...
You're cut above.
Thank you for
Try some creative cooking.
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.